Discovery and defiance. The quantum displays cast ethereal patterns across Dr. Elena Rivera's face as she studied the alien schematics for what felt like the thousandth time. Outside her laboratory window, Mexico City's skyline sparkled with celebration lights that hadn't stopped since first contact 6 months ago. The Zarkax Alliance had arrived with promises of technological advancement and galactic brotherhood, offering humanity a shortcut to the stars. Elena's dark eyes narrowed as she traced an unusual pattern in the quantum pathways of the Zarkax faster-than-light drive specifications. Something about the design had been bothering her for weeks, a nagging sensation that she couldn't shake. The aliens' technology was elegant, almost too perfect in its standardization across every system they'd shared. Dr. Rivera, the soft voice of her eye assistant, interrupted her thoughts. Dr. Kai Chen has arrived from the Beijing Institute. The laboratory doors whispered open, revealing a tall man whose usual impeccable appearance was somewhat disheveled. Elena, you need to see this. He didn't bother with pleasantries, immediately connecting his quantum tablet to her display system. Streams of data cascaded across the screens. Analysis of every piece of Zarkax technology Earth had received. Medical scanners, communication arrays, atmospheric processors, and the crown jewel, their FTL drive designs. Kai's fingers danced across the controls, highlighting identical subsystem architectures buried within each device. They told us it was standardization for safety, Elena murmured, recognition dawning in her eyes. But it's more than that, isn't it? Kai nodded grimly. Watch this. He initiated a simulation, sending a specific quantum signature through the hidden pathways. The entire system shut down instantly. Every piece of their technology has these backdoors. One signal from the Zarkax, and they could disable everything they've given us. Elena's mind raced through the implications. The Zarkax weren't helping humanity join the galactic community. They were ensuring humanity would never be able to compete with them. A quick search through their database revealed a pattern. Every species that had accepted Zarkax assistance had become technologically stagnant, eternally dependent on alien technology they couldn't fully understand or modify. The United Earth Council meets tomorrow to ratify the Technology Exchange Treaty, Elena said, already compiling their findings. We need to stop this. The Zarkax representatives will be there, Kai warned. They'll try to discredit us. Elena's laugh was sharp. Let them try. We're not just bringing problems. We're bringing solutions. For the next 18 hours, Elena and Kai worked tirelessly, joined by colleagues from research centers across the globe. Dr. Amara Okafor from Lagos contributed breakthrough insights on quantum encryption. Dr. Sophia Patel from Mumbai provided crucial analysis of alternative propulsion theories. Together, they built not just a case against the Zarkax technology, but the framework for humanity's independent path to the stars. When Elena stood before the United Earth Council the next day, she felt the weight of history on her shoulders. The Zarkax representatives sat in their environmental suits, their crystalline forms refracting light across the chamber. Distinguished council members, Elena began, the Zarkax offer seems generous, but it comes with hidden chains. She presented their findings, showing how the alien technology would forever bind humanity to Zarkax control. The chamber erupted in shocked murmurs as the evidence mounted. The Zarkax High Representative, Hextall, rose smoothly. These are merely safety protocols, designed to protect developing civilizations from potentially dangerous modifications. We have guided many species to the stars this way. Guided, Elena countered, or contained. Show me one species that has developed its own technology after accepting your gifts. Show me one civilization that isn't still using your unchanged designs centuries later. The council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Elena continued, her voice strong and clear. But we have another choice. Humanity didn't reach this point by taking shortcuts. Every step of our technological evolution has been earned through innovation, determination, and courage. We can do it again. She revealed the preliminary designs her global team had developed. Propulsion systems inspired by ocean currents, quantum computers modeled on neural networks, navigation systems that learned from migrating birds. These are just the beginning. They're not as advanced as Zarkak's technology yet, but they're ours, free from external control, built on principles we understand and can improve upon. Extal's crystalline form shifted colors rapidly. This is unprecedented. No species has ever rejected our assistance. The path you propose will take decades longer. Then will take decades, Alina replied firmly. Humanity's history is filled with those who chose the harder path for the sake of true independence. We didn't cross oceans, build cities, or reach our own moon by accepting limitations imposed by others. The council deliberated for hours. When the final vote came, it was unanimous. Earth would thank the Zarkaks for their offer, but forge its own path to the stars. As the Zarkaks' delegation departed, their ships glittering against the evening sky, Alina stood with Kai in her laboratory, watching them go. "They'll try to stop us," Kai said quietly. Alina nodded, already pulling up the designs for their first independent propulsion tests. "Of course they will, and that's exactly why we need to succeed." She smiled as messages poured in from research centers around the world, scientists eager to begin the real work of reaching the stars. Humanity didn't get where we are by accepting others' limitations. It's time to show the galaxy what we can really do. The quantum displays hummed with new energy as Earth's greatest minds began their greatest challenge yet, proving that humanity's path to the stars would be built by human hands, guided by human minds, and achieved through human determination. The real work was just beginning. Project Phoenix Rising. The Australian outback stretched endlessly beneath the starlit sky, its red earth now home to humanity's largest independent research facility. 1 year had passed since Earth's rejection of Zarkak's technology, and Project Phoenix had transformed this remote landscape into an oasis of innovation. Dr. Amara Okafor stood at the central control room's window, watching the first rays of dawn paint the desert in shades of gold. Behind her, holographic displays showed live feeds from sister facilities across the globe. Underground laboratories in the Atacama Desert, research centers nestled in the Norwegian fjords, and testing grounds hidden beneath the Sahara's endless dunes. "Primary test sequence initiating," announced the AI assistant, its voice echoing through the facility's curved corridors. Today's experiment could change everything, if it worked. "Are you ready to make history?" Dr. Sophia Patel's voice came through the quantum comm, her Mumbai team standing by to coordinate the global test. Their approach to faster-than-light travel had taken an unexpected turn 6 months ago, when Sophia had noticed something remarkable about sandstorms. "Nature's already solved half our problems," Sophia had declared, showing how particles in sandstorms achieved seemingly impossible velocities through complex interactions with electromagnetic fields. "We've been trying to bend space when we should be learning to dance with it." Now, their first full-scale prototype stood ready in the test chamber. Unlike the brute force approach of Zarkak's drives, this design worked with natural space-time fluctuations, amplifying them through a series of biomimetic field generators. "All stations, report in," Amara commanded, her fingers dancing across the holographic controls. One by one, facilities around the world confirmed their readiness. This test required synchronized measurements from every continent to map the drive's effects on local spacetime. Brisbane Control, ready. Oslo Control, ready. Cape Town Control, standing by. Lima Control, systems green. Tokyo Control, all systems nominal. The prototype hummed to life, its crystalline structure, grown in zero gravity using techniques learned from coral reefs, beginning to pulse with inner light. Early attempts to replicate traditional metal-based propulsion had failed, leading them to explore entirely new materials and approaches. "Power at 20%, Sophia reported from Mumbai. "Field coherence holding steady." Amara watched the readings climb, her heart pounding. They'd made it this far before, but the field always collapsed at around 40% power. Today, they'd implemented a new stability system inspired by the way schools of fish maintain their formation in strong currents. 30%, 35, 40%. The chamber filled with a soft blue glow as the drive core pulsed like a living heart. Warning indicators flashed across the screens, but the new algorithms adjusted automatically, compensating for field fluctuations in real time. 45%. Sophia's voice carried barely contained excitement. Field coherence at 98%. The air itself seemed to hum as the drive pushed past its previous limits. Amara held her breath, watching as the power levels continued to climb. This wasn't just about reaching the stars anymore. This was about proving that humanity could forge its own path, freed from alien influence or control. 50%, 55, 60%. We've done it. Cheers erupted across all channels as the drive stabilized at 60% power, more than enough for their first practical tests. The prototype's glow settled into a steady rhythm, like a beacon announcing humanity's next great leap forward. But their celebration was cut short by an urgent alert from the Orbital Defense Network. Multiple Zarkax vessels detected entering the solar system. The AI reported calmly. Amara's fingers flew across the controls, initiating emergency protocols. Shut down Sequence Alpha. Disperse all test data through the quantum mesh. They'd anticipated this moment, preparing secure networks that could preserve their research even if individual facilities were compromised. They're earlier than we expected, Sophia noted grimly. They must have detected the test. Good, Amara replied, a fierce smile crossing her face. Let them come. They'll find we're not the same species that rejected their help a year ago. As if in response to her words, the prototype's glow pulsed once more before powering down, its energy spreading through the quantum mesh network that connected all of humanity's research facilities. They had already learned from nature's most important lesson. Survival doesn't depend on being the strongest, but on being the most adaptable. Around the world, research teams began implementing their contingency plans. In Norway, crucial components were relocated to underground vaults carved into the ancient rock. In Chile, test data was encoded into synthetic DNA, hidden within ordinary bacterial cultures. In Japan, quantum encryption keys were distributed through networks modeled on fungal mycelia. All data secured, Sophia confirmed. Should we evacuate? Amara shook her head, watching the first light of dawn strengthen into full day. No, we knew this confrontation was coming. Time to show them what humanity can do when we're pushed. She opened a channel to all facilities. This is Dr. Okafor. As you know, we have visitors approaching. They think they're coming to stop us, but they're about to learn something important about human nature. She paused, looking at the prototype that represented humanity's independent future. We don't just adapt to challenges. We thrive on them. Stand by for Phase 2. As Zarkax ships entered high orbit, humanity's greatest minds prepared for their greatest test yet. They had spent a year not just developing new technology, but new ways of thinking, new approaches to problems that the aliens, for all their advanced technology, had never considered. The sun climbed higher over the Australian desert, its light reflecting off the facility's solar arrays in a pattern that, viewed from orbit, might have looked like a phoenix spreading its wings. Inside, Amara and her colleagues prepared to prove that humanity's greatest strength wasn't the technology they could build, but their unwavering determination to forge their own destiny among the stars. The Silent War. Deep beneath the Norwegian fjords, Dr. Marcus Chen watched streams of data flow across his quantum-encrypted displays. The crystalline cavern, carved by centuries of glacial movement, had become one of humanity's most secure research hubs. 3 months had passed since the Zarkax entered Earth's solar system, and the Silent War had begun in earnest. Unauthorized quantum scan detected, the AI assistant announced. Above ground, Zarkax ships maintained their peaceful observation orbit, while bombarding Earth's research facilities with increasingly sophisticated attempts to penetrate their defenses. Marcus smiled as he watched the scan bounce harmlessly off their shields. The defense system, inspired by the way chameleons change not just their color but their skin's crystalline structure, automatically shifted its quantum signature. To the Zarkak sensors, the facility simply vanished, becoming indistinguishable from the surrounding rock. "They're still using brute force," he murmured, typing notes into his secure terminal. "They haven't figured out that we're not playing their game anymore." His communication panel chimed with an incoming message from Dr. Isabella Santos in the Amazon facility. "Marcus, you need to see this." Her face appeared on a holographic display, excitement evident despite the secure channel's encryption artifacts. "Remember how we were studying plant communication networks? The way trees share information and resources through fungal networks." Marcus leaned forward, intrigued. Their bio-inspired research had already yielded breakthroughs in secure communication and resource distribution. "We've taken it further." Isabella's fingers danced across her controls, sending encrypted data packets through their quantum mesh network. "Look at these patterns. Plants don't just share resources. They create dynamic, self-organizing networks that can adapt to damage or interference." Marcus's eyes widened as he studied the data. "You're suggesting we restructure our entire research network based on forest ecology?" "Exactly." Isabella's grin was fierce. "The Zarkaks keep trying to find our central command structure, our key facilities. But what if we don't have any? What if we become like a forest? Each facility both independent and interconnected, sharing resources and information through countless redundant pathways." The implications were staggering. Their current network, though secure, still relied on traditional hierarchical structures. A forest-inspired system would be virtually impossible to disable or control. Even if the Zarkaks managed to shut down multiple facilities, the network would automatically redistribute resources and research data through surviving pathways. "Dr. Chen." The AI interrupted, unusual energy signature detected in orbit. "The Zarkaks vessels are moving." Marcus switched displays, watching as the alien ships adjusted their formation. "They're preparing something big. Alert all facilities. Initiate Protocol Aurora." Around the world, research teams began their practiced emergency procedures. But this time, instead of simply going dark, they implemented Isabella's new network architecture. Each facility became a node in humanity's artificial forest, connected through quantum-entangled pathways that mimic the complex relationships of natural ecosystems. In the Sahara facility, Dr. Amara Okafor received the alert while conducting high-energy plasma containment tests. Instead of shutting down, her team redistributed their research data across the network. The plasma containment field itself became part of their defense, its electromagnetic signature masking the facility's true nature. In Australia, Dr. Sophia Patel's team had already integrated their propulsion research into the new network architecture. Their test data flowed through secure channels, inspired by the way water moves through plant tissues, finding the path of least resistance while maintaining perfect integrity. The Zarkaks' attack, when it came, was both subtle and devastating. A cascade of quantum pulses designed to overload Earth's research networks swept across the planet. In orbit, the alien ships waited to detect the signature of failing systems, ready to swoop in and assist with the emergency. But humanity's network didn't fail. Like a forest weathering a storm, it bent without breaking. Data flowed through alternative pathways, facilities shifted their quantum signatures, and research continued uninterrupted. The attack that should have crippled their progress instead made them stronger, as the network learned and adapted to each new threat. In his Norwegian command center, Marcus watched the Zarkak ships with a mixture of determination and pride. "They still don't understand," he said to Isabella's hologram. "They think technology is about control, about forcing the universe to bend to your will." "While we've learned to work with nature's own patterns," Isabella finished, "every attack makes our network stronger, more adaptive. We're not just building better technology, we're evolving it." The quantum displays showed the Zarkak ships pulling back. Their attack apparently failed, but Marcus knew this was just the beginning. The aliens would analyze, adapt, and try again. That's what made humanity's approach so powerful. They weren't just ready for the next attack. They would learn from it. All facilities, status report. He called over the secure channel. One by one, research centers around the world checked in. Not only had they survived the attack, but many had made breakthrough discoveries by analyzing how their systems adapted to the stress. Send the data to all facilities, Marcus ordered. It's time for Phase 3. He pulled up the designs for their next generation of defensive systems, inspired by how immune systems learn to recognize and respond to threats. The Zarkaks thought they were fighting a war of technology, but humanity had turned it into something else entirely, a contest of adaptation and evolution. As the northern lights danced above the Norwegian fjords, casting ethereal colors through the crystalline cavern, humanity's research network pulsed with new life and purpose. They were no longer just developing technology. They were growing it, nurturing it, letting it evolve in ways the Zarkaks could never predict or control. The silent war continued, but with each passing day, humanity moved closer to their goal of true technological independence. And in the process, they were discovering something even more valuable, a completely new way of thinking about technology, one that worked in harmony with the natural universe instead of trying to dominate it. Breaking the barrier. The concert hall deep within the Mumbai facility fell silent as Dr. Sophia Patel's fingers hovered over the grand piano's keys. Around her, arrays of quantum sensors hummed softly, measuring every vibration, every harmonic resonance. The breakthrough had come from an unexpected source. Music. Ready when you are. Dr. Marcus Chen's hologram flickered beside the piano, his team in Norway standing by to measure the quantum field effects. What had started as a casual observation about musical harmonics had led to their most promising FTL theory yet. Sophia began to play. Not a classical piece or modern composition, but a mathematical sequence translated into musical form. Each note created specific vibrations in space-time, building complex interference patterns in the quantum field. The sensors around her recorded everything, feeding data to research facilities across the globe. Look at this, Dr. Isabella Santos called from the Amazon facility, her hologram appearing alongside Marcus's. The quantum field visualizations showed impossible patterns forming, microscopic wrinkles in space-time that shouldn't exist according to conventional physics. It's like watching waves on a pond. Amara's voice came through from Australia, where her team monitored the larger space-time implications. Each note creates ripples, but together they're forming standing waves in space-time itself. Sophia's fingers continued their dance across the keys, each sequence more complex than the last. They had discovered that space-time wasn't the rigid framework the Zarkaks treated it as. It was more like a vast cosmic ocean, filled with currents and harmonics that could be worked with rather than against. Power spike in the quantum field, Marcus reported, excitement creeping into his usually calm voice. The resonance patterns are self-sustaining. This is what we've been missing. We don't need to force space to bend. We just need to find its natural frequencies and amplify them. The music reached a crescendo, and the quantum sensors registered something unprecedented. A stable microscopic wormhole, created not through enormous energy expenditure like the Zarkaks method, but through precise harmonic manipulation of space-time itself. Hold that pattern, Isabella urged, her team already recording every detail of the phenomenon. We've done it. This is the key to true FTL travel. But their celebration was cut short by urgent alerts from the Orbital Defense Network. The Zarkak ships were moving, dropping into lower orbit with weapon systems active. They had detected the space-time distortion and clearly recognized its significance. They're targeting the Mumbai facility, Amara warned. Multiple quantum weapon signatures detected. Sophia's fingers never stopped moving across the keys, maintaining the delicate harmonic pattern while their defensive systems engage. The facility's quantum signature shifted continuously, like a chord changing keys, making it impossible for the Zarkak's targeting systems to lock on. "Upload complete," Marcus announced. "Every facility has the full harmonic sequences and quantum data. Even if they take out Mumbai, they can't stop this." The first Zarkak's attack came as a concentrated burst of quantum energy designed to disrupt all electronic systems. But humanity's defenses had evolved far beyond simple electronic shields. The attack energy was captured, redirected, and fed back into their own systems, actually strengthening the harmonic space-time patterns. "They still don't understand," Sophia said, finally lifting her hands from the piano as automated systems took over maintaining the quantum harmonics. "They're trying to fight the music instead of dancing with it." Around the world, research teams began implementing the breakthrough. The principles they discovered went far beyond FTL travel. They represented a fundamentally new way of interacting with the universe itself. While the Zarkaks tried to bend space through brute force, humanity had learned to sing to it, to work with its natural rhythms and patterns. "All facilities, begin final assembly," Amara commanded. "It's time to show them what we've built." Deep in secure hangars around the world, the first ships of humanity's independent fleet took shape. Unlike the massive, energy-hungry vessels of the Zarkaks, these ships were elegant and efficient, their very structure designed to resonate with spacetime's natural frequencies. They didn't fight against the universe's laws. They worked in harmony with them. "Multiple quantum signatures detected," the AI announced. "The Zarkaks are calling in reinforcements." "Let them come," Sophia replied, standing from the piano as its automated systems continued playing the harmonic sequences. "We're ready for the final movement." The quantum displays showed more Zarkak ships entering the solar system, their crystalline forms glittering against the void. But humanity was no longer the vulnerable species they tried to chain with generous gifts of control technology. In facilities around the world, humans had built something the aliens had never imagined possible: technology that evolved, adapted, and worked in concert with the natural universe instead of trying to dominate it. "Begin launch sequence," Amara ordered. "It's time to show the galaxy what humanity can really do." As the first human-built FTL ship rose from its hidden hangar in the Australian outback, its drive harmonizing with the very fabric of spacetime, the Zarkaks would learn what humans had known all along. True advancement comes not from controlling nature, but from learning to dance with it. The final confrontation was about to begin, and humanity was ready to take its first true steps into the galaxy, not as students or subjects, but as innovators who had found their own unique path to the stars. A new dawn. Space rippled like water as the first ship of humanity's independent fleet, the Phoenix, emerged from its quantum harmonic drive field. Behind it, 5 more vessels materialized in perfect formation, their hulls resonating with the natural frequencies of spacetime. In orbit above Earth, the assembled Zarkaks fleet waited, their crystalline ships forming a blocking pattern that had contained countless other species' attempts at independence. Dr. Elena Rivera stood on the Phoenix's bridge, watching the tactical displays with Dr. Amara Okafor and Dr. Sophia Patel. The ship hummed around them, not with the harsh vibrations of forced energy, but with a subtle harmony that felt almost alive. "Zarkak's fleet is signaling," the AI announced. "They're ordering us to power down and accept their assistance in returning safely to Earth." Elena smiled. "Send our response." Instead of words, the human fleet transmitted a complex quantum harmonic signature, the same pattern that had first revealed the possibility of working with spacetime rather than against it. The effect on the Zarkak ships was immediate. Their rigid crystalline structures, designed to impose order on spacetime, began experiencing unexpected resonances. "They're trying to lock weapons," Amara reported, monitoring the defensive systems. "But they can't get a stable target lock. Our quantum signature is too fluid, too dynamic." The Phoenix's bridge crew watched as the Zarkak's fleet attempted to encircle them, still treating space as something to be controlled rather than collaborated with. But humanity's ships moved like dancers, their formations flowing and shifting in ways that made traditional tactical responses impossible. All ships, initiate Symphony Protocol, Sophia commanded. Each human vessel began generating its own unique harmonic pattern, creating a complex interference pattern in the surrounding spacetime. The Zarkak ships found themselves caught in an invisible dance they couldn't comprehend or counter. "They're preparing their main quantum weapons," the AI warned. "Let them," Elena replied calmly. "Execute Phase 3. The human fleet's harmonics shifted suddenly, synchronizing in a way that reminded Elena of the orchestra finding its rhythm. The space between the two fleets began to shimmer with quantum possibilities, reality itself responding to the intricate patterns humanity had learned to weave. When the Zarkak's weapons fired, their energy didn't impact the human ships directly. Instead, it was caught in the harmonic fields, redirected and transformed. The very attacks meant to destroy them became part of humanity's symphony with spacetime. "Multiple ships approaching," Amara announced. But these weren't Zarkak's reinforcements. Ships of various designs were dropping out of FTL, representing species that had long accepted Zarkak's dominion. They had detected the unprecedented quantum harmonics and come to investigate. The Zarkak's High Commander's transmission cut through all channels. "This is impossible. Our technology is superior. Our understanding is complete." "That's exactly why you can't win," Elena responded. "You think understanding means control. We learn to listen instead of command, to adapt instead of dominate. The universe isn't a resource to be exploited. It's a partner in creation." As if to emphasize her words, the Phoenix executed a maneuver that should have been impossible, its harmonic drive allowing it to flow through spacetime like water through a stream. The watching ships from other species registered the impossible readings, seeing for the first time an entirely new way of approaching space travel. "Your technology enslaves," Elena continued. "It creates dependency and stagnation. But look at what we've achieved in just a few years of true independence. We're not here to fight you, Zarkaks. We're here to show everyone that there's another way." The Phoenix's sensors detected quantum communications erupting between the gathered ships of other species. They were analyzing the human fleet's capabilities, recognizing the implications. Here was proof that the Zarkak's way wasn't the only path to the stars. "Final warning," the Zarkak's commander transmitted. "Accept our guidance or face the consequences." Elena looked at her fellow scientists, seeing in their eyes the same determination that had brought humanity this far. "Show them," she ordered. The human fleet moved in perfect synchronization, their harmonic drives creating a cascading pattern of quantum resonances. Space itself seemed to sing around them as they demonstrated maneuvers that Zarkak's technology couldn't even detect, let alone replicate. "To all species watching," Elena broadcast, "we offer this knowledge freely. Not as a gift that controls, but as proof that each civilization can find its own path to the stars. The universe has more songs to teach us than any one species can learn alone." The impact was immediate. Ships from other species began moving closer, their sensors eagerly recording the quantum harmonics that humans had discovered. The Zarkak's fleet hung motionless, their rigid tactics useless against humanity's fluid approach to spacetime. "They're powering down weapons," Amara reported. "Multiple ships are requesting access to our quantum frequency patterns." Elena nodded. "Send them everything. The basic harmonics, the mathematical relationships, the principles we've discovered. Let them see that technology doesn't have to be a chain. It can be a key to unlock the universe's own music." The Phoenix's bridge crew watched as their discoveries spread across the assembled fleet like ripples in a cosmic pond. Species that had been locked into Zarkak's technology for generations were seeing a new possibility, a way to develop technology that worked with their own understanding of the universe rather than accepting someone else's. "The Zarkak's fleet is withdrawing," Sophia announced, but her attention was on the readings coming from the other ships. "They're already beginning to experiment with harmonic resonances. Each species is finding their own unique patterns, their own songs to sing to the universe. Elena smiled as she watched the first tentative attempts by other civilizations to work with space-time rather than against it. Humanity hadn't just broken free of alien influence. They had shown the galaxy that true advancement comes from understanding and cooperation, not control and dependency. Set course for deep space, she commanded. The Phoenix's harmonic drive hummed to life, its song joining the growing symphony of species discovering their own paths among the stars. Let's see what other music the universe has to teach us. As Earth's first independent fleet ventured into the galaxy, they carried with them not just humanity's achievements, but a fundamental truth they had discovered. The greatest technologies don't conquer nature's laws. They dance with them. And in that dance, every species could find their own way to the stars.